Okay, achsikskanatoni. Pleasant morning. It is just about 7:30 in the a.m. on Thursday, April 25th, 2019, in the tail end of the lunar cycle Sa'akisum, the duck moon, when the waterfowl begin dropping their eggs. And I've just pulled in here at Alexander Wilderness Park with a buddy. I'm off on my first wildlife call of the morning. A couple yesterday brought me to their north side home, where they said that they'd been seeing an animal coming through their yard on their security cam and wanted to see if I could catch him up. So I set a trap yesterday, and he was in there overnight. Sure enough, Sikoopsp, the raccoon, black eyes, Sikoopsp. So we're gonna let him off here. And I figured it's Thursday, so might as well do a little weekly update as I make my rounds. This probably won't be my only wildlife call of the day, but we'll see. It could be. There you go. And he's off. Usually they go up the first tree they see. Not that guy. He is running up the coulee. Yeah, so figured I'd do a little weekly update while I'm making my rounds. Might do more wildlife calls, I don't know. I've been getting at least one a morning. Well, basically like one a morning. Hasn't been a lot of two animal mornings. Yesterday was a little bit busy. I think I had a couple of skunks yesterday. But I have a lot of traps out there, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's another call. It's starting to cool down a little bit. I don't know if today's going to be cool, but they're forecasting, I think, for the weekend that we might even have rain and snow and stuff. So I'm not expecting snake calls, although the snakes are out. I visited a rattlesnake den just yesterday. I'll show you a little bit of footage of that. Yeah, well, let's get there in a minute. I wanted to first cover even just the morning, because I had an interesting wake up. I get these once in a while. Well, I really woke up when the phone call came for this raccoon, but about an hour before that I had an earlier wake up where just a startled awake from a violent dream. And when I woke up, I caught myself and I was digging my fist into Chelsea's chest, punching the person in my dream. And this happens once in a while. Chelsea said, you got a PTSD, which might be the case. I've even split my hand open punching in the night when I'm having violent dreams. But usually if I'm throwing fists in a dream, it's really slow, and I just like touch, and then I push, So there were definitely times when Mahoney would wake up with me pushing her face because I'm having one of these episodes. So last night's dream, though, was kind of funny because, it's not anything that seems PTSD like, but I had a violent reaction. I can't remember exactly what was going on in the dream, but I know that I was in the way of this big lady, really big lady, right? And she was mad that I was in her way, so she knocked me down and she sat on me. Sat right on my chest, and I it took a lot of effort, but I threw her off, did a hipped up and threw her off, and then I turned to punch her, and that's when I woke up and I was punching Chelsea, and she was startled. And so yeah, having a little bit of fitful dreams, donning my Josh Fox look today, or Elvis Costello, or whatever you want to call it. I like Josh Fox. He also has the face fur and the hat thing going on, but I'm probably insulting him by saying that I've adopted his look today, because these are the cheapest of cheapo glasses. These are actually children's frames from Costco, and at one point I'd broken off this nose guard, and then I found another broken pair of glasses in the parking lot at Napi's Rock in Okotoks, and it had a good nose guard, so I took it and I put it on here, and that's the nose guard that's on here today. I've lost the other original nose guard now, or broke it off, so I got to find somebody's other broken pair of glasses somewhere so that I can get another nose guard. But yeah, I'm wearing these today because my eyes, the last couple of days, I don't know what it is, allergies or if I got something wrong with my eyes, but they've just been leaking, you know. Doesn't hurt, a little bit of light sensitivity, but it's annoying. It's like really my eyes feel very mucousy, and when I wake up in the morning they're crusty. I have had kind of a cold, so maybe that's just going along with the cold. But yesterday was pretty tough doing the contact lens thing, so I had I worked with a news reporter yesterday and did a little, you know, opening of the season news report for Bridge City News, and showed him a rattlesnake. Actually, I took out Charlie to show them. But earlier in the day, I had visited one of the den sites, and I collected a little bit of video. So here's a look at that. It's about 1/2 the noon hour now, and I'm out here at Spopikimi in the Northwood. I've been in the area quite a bit this past week because it was Easter week, you know, and for me, Easter is all about getting at those eggs. This is what Easter's all about. These hidden stashes of eggs. That's what, if I don't harvest some eggs around Easter, some waterfowl eggs to eat, I don't really feel connected. I don't really feel human, you know. It's like if the trees were all fruiting and I didn't eat any of the fruit. I just kept going to the grocery store and buying the stuff from California, you know. Yeah, I have to harvest. So I was fortunate this week. They gave me a group of school students to take out. I have a couple more coming up this week, but they were younger, or not younger, they were older students, like 7th graders, right? Compared to what they usually give me, like 5th graders, maybe 6th graders, but 7th graders, they're getting big enough that I can do some stuff with them. And so I took this group out. We forded the river, walked. I had them walk like single file with me along through the river island and count nests, and we counted 24 of them as we went along. But like I say, we just went single file through and then single file back around, and I don't know if we missed a bunch of them, but I suspect we did, because that was on Friday, I believe, and then on Sunday, which was Easter proper, I was back out here. Oh, it must have been Thursday that I was out with the students, because there's no way they'd be going to school on Good Friday. So I was out here on Thursday with them, and then on Sunday I came back out with a couple of my students for the walk and talk on the Sunday morning, and we forwarded out there to go look at the nests, because it's Easter, you have to, right? And there was more than 24 nests going on out there. More than 24. I didn't count them all, but there were more than 24, and there were still a couple of birds that were caching eggs, and I was very happy about that, because it meant that I could take a couple of eggs home and have a real proper Easter breakfast. So yeah, I've been spending some time out here because of the season, and it's just warming up, and I enjoy being outside, and I'm really grateful for today. Today I'm out here because I'm working on my Fort Whoop-Up project, and part of that project requires me to gather firewood, and that just means I get to spend a couple of days out here in the woods, and how can I complain? So I'm going to show you my method. This is another thing. Like I noted something on Facebook this morning. I don't know, something triggered me, where anytime somebody's reading a book or looking at photographs or something like this, using some media, and they call it research, I get all kind of irritated. I'm like, that's not research. That's literature review, that's media review. It might be part of your overall project, but that's not the research part of it. To me, the research part of it means you have to get out there, and if you can, actively and participatorily engage in the phenomena you're studying. If you can't, at least you can observe, but in the live context of it. If you're studying something that's past, is the only time I think that you can legitimately maybe call reading and stuff part of your research. But even at that, like I've found trying to understand things of Blackfoot past, that you can't just do it through archival materials and photographs and books and stuff. If you don't actively try to do something yourself, you'll never know it. It was like egg gathering for me. There was no, when we were told by the elder that was training us in the beaver bundle, Adrian and I, to gather our eggs, there was no elders around to teach us how to do that anymore. The practice had stopped. Everybody was using chicken eggs for ceremony. So we had to get out there and do it. And in doing it, we learned a lot. I've learned a lot from being engaged with what's happening this time of year. And I think that's why this time of year is special. It has that quality of showing you, if you engage with it, that there are these phenological alignments between lunar events, solar events, and nature events, and that if you're surviving, if you're trying to live out here, you got to be all in line with that stuff. And when the big gift comes and the new life of the new season emerges in the form of the egg, of course you're going to be celebrating. But another question outside of eggs, thinking historically, research-wise, is, it was the women that used to gather firewood, right? I've seen old photographs of them, and they're using like hooked poles, like the coup poles that are like some of the staffs that are used ceremonially. And I think nowadays people believe that the things that are in ceremony are part of the sacred stuff, and they don't belong in the mundane. But in fact, to me, I've always seen it the other way around. That it's all dealing with the mundane and the reality and stuff, and then sometimes you need the sacred to show you that, you know, the world is something beautiful in itself. But you have to go through, you know, a lot of poking around and trying to play with different ideas and stuff, and different practices and spirituality and such to get there, sometimes to appreciate what's just regular old life. But I've seen those women, and they pull down the dead wood, you know. It's only the dead wood that's collected traditionally out here. It's the poplar, the cottonwoods. We got balsam poplar, plains cottonwood, and narrowleaf cottonwood. And all three of them are called seat-sixum and blackfoot. And they are really just one species, although in the mainstream they're considered three species, or at least three pretty distinct subspecies. They are visually, you know, they have their hallmarks and stuff, but they all intermingle with one another, so you can find lots of hybrids and stuff out here. And they don't crack and send you know, sparks and stuff flying up into your lodge. They don't smoke a lot, but you have to get the dead wood, right? Don't get the live wood. Leave the live trees alone. And this is where porcupines come into play too. This is how porcupines are related to us, because the porcupine get up there and they eat, you know, the bark off part of the tree, one of the limbs, and then that limb will die, and that limb will eventually become the firewood, you know. But I had a question in gathering firewood, like, you're gonna find large limbs. How do you take them apart if you don't have like nice metal bladed axes and stuff like this? Well, you know, just in the logical sense, and we're talking, you know, this is women that would normally be gathering this stuff. There were some tough women in the past. I wouldn't want to run into them. The firewood bundles I've been carrying today have been approximately the size of the photographs of firewood bundles that I've seen women carry in the past. Maybe mine are a little bit smaller even, and they're heavy, and they're not easy to carry. And, you know, sometimes they would be carrying them from the riparian forest down to the coulee bottom, all the way up to the coulee rim back to camp. But how would they break the sticks up to be the right size? I'm thinking something like this. A lot of them that I've been breaking up much easier. I thought I would demonstrate that, but anyway, got the job done. Break them up into fairly even size pieces and haul them back to camp. Yeah, so actually, I just thought it'd be cool to drop my firewood by the teepee frame for the shot, but I'm really storing my firewood over here, kind of by the fort wall, behind this structure that hides some utilities. Didn't do a very good job of hiding this rabbit. Little mountain cottontail got killed probably by an owl. And there's your lucky rabbit's foot right there. Not so lucky on that guy. But yeah, out here at the fort where I'm probably going to be for the next 2 weeks or so. They're filming a movie today, so I'm kind of keeping myself a little scarce. They asked me the last couple of days not to come out here and do any of my work while they're filming. In fact, they took down, I don't know if you remember, but there was a couple of teepee structures set up here that I had put up the other summer. It seems like they took one down. Hopefully they reinstall it and correctly. But yeah, they're filming. I don't know what it's about. They got horses coming out of a trailer right now. I know Kevin Costner was in town the other day. A lot of people, but not here in Lethbridge, but about 30 minutes away in Fort Macleod. They were filming something on the street, and a lot of people from Ghana bumped into him. So maybe this is a continuation of that. I have no idea. Filming something, but I'll probably be out here the next 2 weeks straight as much as I can. You know, building my stuff, putting my installation out here. You know, this whole fenced in area is basically my area to play with and make something cool happen. So I'm going to be making a little fire pit area, and you know, kind of a meat drying station, and old style tripod cooking area. Going to make a couple of 2-3 travois and a big firewood stack, winter style firewood stack, vertical style. So should be pretty cool. But yeah, I've got about 2 weeks to do that. Installation deadline is May 8th. So exactly 2 weeks from today, I'm supposed to have it ready to roll. So I'm working on that. Not much else to report. As far as things go in my personal life and stuff, nothing's really changed since my last report, so I don't really have anything to add to that. But we'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks or so. Things might get exciting. I know Mahoney has a new friend, and he's supposed to be coming to visit. But I don't know if I'll, have any engagement with them at all. So we'll see. Any case, guess I'll get on with my day, and this might be the end of my video for the round, but unless something else comes up, unless some other animal wildlife call or something comes around, I'll probably just cut it off here and see you next time.